Hey, it's Leanne with Anderson Law Firm, and we are continuing our series on trust funding. And today we are going to discuss your assets that are retirement accounts, life insurance, and brokerage accounts. These assets don't get transferred into your trust. Instead, they pass through something called a beneficiary designation. And getting these designations right is absolutely critical to making your whole estate plan work. What's the difference? Retirement accounts such as IRAs, 401ks, 403b, TSP accounts, pensions with death benefits, those similar accounts, you should almost never transfer ownership of a retirement account to your trust because doing so is considered a distribution by the IRS. So you'd owe income tax on the whole balance, possibly tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, plus possible early withdrawal penalties. We do not change the ownership of your retirement accounts. Instead, we simply update the beneficiary designation. Every retirement account is going to have their own beneficiary designation form, or maybe even a way to do it online. If you are married, we want you to keep your spouse named as your primary beneficiary and then make your trust the contingent. What we see most often is your spouse is your primary and maybe your children are the contingents. We want to delete those contingent beneficiaries and we want to name your trust in place. Since you're setting up this trust as your asset protection plan and to avoid probate by having the trust named as the contingent beneficiary, following the death of both of you, those assets will be pointed to your trust. So an important caveat to remember is there are some situations when naming a trust as a beneficiary on a retirement account can have negative tax consequences, particularly under the Secure Act when it changed in 2020. If you have a very large retirement account with a complex family situation, we recommend you discuss the beneficiary designations with your own CPA or your financial advisor before making any changes. Now let's talk about life insurance. Like retirement accounts, life insurance passes by way of beneficiary designation, not through your will or trust. So the approach is similar, but with life insurance, we want to see the trust named as the primary beneficiary. Naming the trust as the primary beneficiary is especially important if you have minor children. Without it, if both parents were to pass away, the life insurance company has a real problem. They cannot write a check to a child. The money might end up in a court-supervised custodial account, which is not what you want. So, again, you may be able to simply request change of beneficiary forms. If your life insurance policy is held with your employer, perhaps you can do that through your employer portal or reaching out to HR for change of beneficiary forms. But there certainly is a way to do it, and either way, we'll be glad to help you get that taken care of. Lastly, brokerage accounts, again, work in the same way. The process may take a bit longer. Big firms that people are familiar with, such as Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, Edward Jones, they all have established procedures for updating your beneficiary accounts. Some, again, may even let you do it online. Again, you're not selling anything, you're not changing your investments, you're just changing the name on the account. But with a brokerage account, there are really two options. You can name your trust as the transfer on death, a TOD if you will. Remember when we talked about those personal checking accounts or personal banking accounts, we talked about a POD, payable on death. With brokerage accounts, they tend to call it a TOD, transferable on death. There is an alternative to, just going ahead and retitling your brokerage account into the name of the trust. Again, that's taking the account out of your name and into the name of the trust. And sometimes it will generate a new account number. And a lot of people we found are not comfortable with that. So if you're working with a financial advisor, is it going to be easier just to name a TOD? Or is it going to be easier for them to retitle your brokerage account into the name of the trust? Either way, we don't have a preference. But we just really want to make sure that when you pass away, your brokerage account is going to bypass probate and head straight for your trust. Again, you're not selling it. You're not changing your investments. We're just maybe change the name on the account or at the very least, update the beneficiary on the account. So again, I know calling banks, contacting financial institutions is not anyone's idea of fun, but this is one of those one and done situations, one of those tasks that really pays off. Once it's done, you don't have to think about it again unless you open new accounts. But again, this is getting you on the path to a fully funded trust, and that is the goal we are looking to accomplish. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon.